So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness, Rage Across New York. We are actually setting the scene off the Sept of the Green and back at the Pack House for the Seekers, where late last night, 10 Point came in after aiding in the struggle to retrieve a first changed Guru, and finding Haraya passed out on the couch and desperately in need of some reassurance after taking a pretty grievous injury, just kind of came in, patched herself up a bit, and basically just kind of slithered in, tucked herself under his arm while he was sleeping and curled up there. So he would have woken up with needy 10 Point and would have been suffering a needy 10 Point through the better part of the morning, though she does make an effort not to get in his way in the process. She just stays very, very close. And sooner or later would be getting herself up and just kind of she hasn't really separated for any particular distance until now. We'll actually go into the bathroom, rooting through the closet in there for the first aid kit, and leaving the door cracked open because she's not doing anything private. She probably had to half shut the door just to get the closet open. But with the kit out on the counter by the sink, has flicked it open, whipped her shirt off, and started going about the process of carefully unwinding the bandages around her belly, because while she has healed the better part of her injury, there's still a lingering point of aggravated damage, and so it is still kind of seeping and a little gross, but nothing especially threatening, nothing worthy of wasting more Gnosis or another guy's breath on.
Yeah, eventually Aiden's getting various reports, prepping some, doing his usual rounds and making sure that, well, the recon mission is underway and he's getting the basics and basic prep and basic wet work and, doing his usual ragabash thing. And you'll notice the 10 Points being a bit needy, and he kind of got the general gist of what she's told him. And then when he spots out of the corner of her eye her unwrapping the bandages, he'll get up and kind of walk to the bathroom door and push it open gently and leaning against it. Would you say very lightly? Do you need help?
I think most of it's visible. She kind of like lifts an arm and twists around to check and see how much of it has actually stayed open on her sides, etc. All things considered, there's probably enough lingering, like, not incredible pain, but being injured sucks. So there's probably enough of it stretched across her belly and side that she's not really accurately able to tell from that alone. But she'll kind of twist around to get a look at her side, start peeling off the actual padding that's been taped down over top of it to catch the blood and whatnot that inevitably are going to ooze out a bit when you've got an open injury. And the point of interest is that, especially if Aiden is coming and getting a look at it and checking it with her, there's not just blood. There's definitely some tinges, not like pus and stuff or signs of real, like, set-in infection, but there's definitely some dark, gross nonsense in bits of it that have oozed out.
She'll see him harden up, then stare. Like a mixture of concern and then, you went hunting a cub, yeah?
And her lips have pressed into a firm line as she peels the thing off and likewise sees the kind of black tinged ooze on it. And she issues kind of a soft sigh. Yes, Rhea. We found her in the city. Frenzy.
And who went with you?
She'll carefully be wadding up the bandage to keep all the gross on the inside and chucking it. Just two of the cubs, right? I had Jason and Desmond with me.
And that's when the head snaps up like a bullet. Run that by me again.
She actually, perhaps initially kind of misses it, sees the motion out of the corner of her eye, and startles just a little bit, kind of snaps up as well. Uh, I was taking two of the cubs, Raya, to the
Two
cairnheart.
cubs went with you to get a frenzying guru. Two cubs.
There, who was with me when Great White Mouse told me there
Where
was an
the
issue.
fuck was everyone else?
I couldn't say, Raya. They weren't there to hear. I did send word to the den parents.
And where the fuck were they?
Chloe came.
Hmm.
She was just behind us by a bit, Raya.
I see. I
Not
see.
any significant delay.
Two cubs went with you. You took two cubs on your own.
She deflates a little bit and yeah, goes for one of her more stained wash rags, the ones that she tends to use when cleaning up injuries, and is setting it up, cleaning the wound, and using it as a distraction to not look at him. It had to be done, Raya.
Where the fuck was Saoirse? Is
She
she not with you?
was still walled off, Raya.
That's when his fist goes through the glass. You know what I mean?
And there goes the bathroom mirror. Oh dear. Tip Point winces visibly, quickly
I would say
taking a
that's a
step
point.
back.
I'd say that's a point of lethal. Maybe two. I'll give myself.
Probably at least one for the broken glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's what I mean. I'd say at least one lethal.
Yeah. Yeah,
That punch is fucking hard. You know what I mean?
she startles back as the bathroom mirror shatters, several pieces probably coming off, clattering to the counter, lodging in his fist.
Walled off. Why didn't you tell me where you were?
But you are asleep, Raya. I didn't think it would be any significant challenge. It was just one cub.
Just one cub you took. Two relatively inexperienced cubs on your own.
And she's shrunk a good bit. She's about as small as she can get without, like, outright starting to, like, cringe down towards the floor.
What would have happened had it been like a situation like Jason?
It was very nearly, Raya.
Oh, yeah. And what happens if he had killed you? Whatever the fuck that cub had done.
And her lips kind of roll in a bit. And she'll turn about a bit. Still, turns her eyes back down to the injury itself, wiping away anything that lingers on her skin, just kind of cleaning it so that the fresh bandage will stick. And, avoiding the question, and as she's looking down and following the lines of the claw marks across her belly, she'll realize that one has intersected the scarring to one side of her ribs. And her face just kind of falls. Everything's terrible.
He'll pick out pieces of broken glass out of his knuckles and toss them in the sink. Well, 10 point.
It still had to be done. Great White Mouse sent us to deal with it.
Oh, so you went out ill prepared.
I sent out word.
You didn't wait?
If we had waited, Rez, she probably would have gotten out of the alley.
Right. So you still went on ill prepared, unprepared, and nearly got yourself fucking killed. Over what?
For a cub, Rhea.
Right. For a cub. That's not your responsibility. Matter of fact, he's just, again, his fist will ball suddenly. The last time people went unprepared, people died. 10 point.
And
You are
as
the
the fist balls up, she'll actually reach out and try to very gingerly take hold of it because there's at least one more tiny shard of glass.
You are one of the only Theurges left on Sept.
I know, Rhea, but it was still the bidding of Great White Mouse.
You know what? I'm going to give you a perception alertness to see if you catch him about to do this.
I will take it, and I will set this up real fast.
Do it, do it, do it. Okay, perception alertness. Katie.
Doing it, God. Nothing. No, she doesn't catch it.
He puts his head, he headbutts the mirror. So they do an arc point of lethal, I'd say.
At this time, she'll actually kind of yelp in protest. And almost immediately after, because she's not fast enough without spotting it about to happen to keep it from happening. But will quickly reach over to take a hold of his shoulder, looking to pull him back away from the glass. Rhea.
How come it's our pack that's always taking all the risks?
And she will, after reeling him back a bit, just very gingerly reach up to touch at his jawline so that she can guide his head around and start plucking glass out of his forehead. Because, Rhea, our pack knows our duty.
How come it's ours who take the war wounds whose friends die? Why can't it be someone else?
Because it is we and the people closest to us that know what's important and commit to it.
I know that 10 point. He'll growl. I mean, he'll growl. Because, you know, you take a bit of damage, so that's an extra rage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Probably doesn't help that she's in the process of plucking glass out of his face. I'll be fine, Red. It's just a scar.
That's not just a scar.
She kind of puffs out a sigh and flicking the last piece of glass into the sink, following all the previous ones, will look down. Again, wiping at it a bit as more of the just discolored, nasty black stuff oozes out. Wincing a bit, rinsing her hand off in the sink.
If anyone comes near you today in Sept, anyone bothers you, you let me fucking know.
Of course, Rhea.
Any of those little cubs trying to fucking nip at you, I will kick the fuck out of them.
None of them has ever done worse than talk, Rhea.
They come near you. They bother you. And if they so much as tap you the wrong way, you let me know.
She's back to chewing on her lip.
I know we have to do our duty and all that. I understand that perfectly fucking well. Doesn't mean I can't be fucking concerned when my packmate comes home with an injury like that, because no one was around. And 2 cubs, and the only theurge went to deal with a frenzy guru. Can I not be frustrated?
It's just a very quiet, very small nod.
Where the fuck were the others? Where's that smiling dipshit? Start pacing almost, rubbing his head. It looks like he's panicking.
She will hastily, while he's pacing, will go around taping new pads over the open bits, making sure in the process that she covers the portion of that very purposefully delivered scar on her ribs that's been mangled as well. Because she doesn't need to make it worse right now. It goes a little higher than the rest, but you know what? An extra piece of wasted padding is worth it at the moment.
And where the you hear a scrowling snarl. It's fucking Saoirse! Like, I'm assuming like a mug or something goes flying across the hallway.
There's another flinch. I don't know, Rhea.
You don't. He takes another long breath. I'm fine. I'm just concerned. Don't like my pack getting hurt.
I know, Rhea.
I don't like the fact we're all meant to be organized in a brotherhood here, yet they make stupid decisions like this. Did Chloe at least thank you for you nearly getting yourself killed for a cub?
I'm sure she did, Rhea. I was distracted and upset. I wasn't paying keen attention.
What the fuck were Jason and the other fucking stupid cunt doing? Were they not looking after you?
Then the mouth opens and it closes. And there's a brief moment as she gathers her resolve and opens again. I took the first strike, Rhea, to make sure that she would not focus on the cubs.
Yes, he looks like he's about to vibrate. And I gotta make a roll. I'll spend some willpower.
Oh no.
Nah, we're good. We're good. We're okay. We're okay.
She actually, especially as he starts vibrating and it's very obvious that he's just barely holding it in, she actually cringes back to the other side of the bathroom.
It's fine. You see, very bated breath. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't want you putting yourself in needless fucking risks like that. You don't get to do that.
Mouth like opens to protest and promptly shuts again.
You don't get to fucking jeopardize yourselves like that, 10 point. There had to be another way to protect that cub without you nearly killing yourself.
I didn't expect her to be so.
She's a guru.
I know, right?
An untrained, just turned guru.
I just thought better me than the Cubs, right?
Hey, perception alertness again.
Oh no! Oh god. One.
You see, the fist is moving.
She will actually jump forward to grab it before he can punch the busted mirror again.
Roll me that dex, Alex. I'll roll my dex, bro, that higher diff.
Okay.
Diff 8, you just rolled that normal because you saw it, so.
Oh Jesus. Nope. She doesn't get there in time. She does lunge.
It's with this his other hand, so you know what I mean?
And at that point, she will perhaps be late to do it, but takes a hold of that wrist and takes a hold of the other and looks to actually kind of forcefully spin him away from the glass. Raya, stop.
You don't fucking say that. Who the You don't fucking say that.
Hurting yourself won't change it, Raya.
Better you than the Cubs, eh? My packmate.
And she looks down, still holding his wrists. Not nearly as firmly at that point.
You can call me immature or whatever for it, but you're my packmate. There had to be a different way you could have done that. Nearly killing yourself. What happens if you had? You would have left them on your own. You would have left me on my own.
It's the latter part that gets her to snap a glance up, almost hurt looking. It's not what I wanted, Raya.
You did it.
I'm sorry.
Don't get to leave me on my own.
There will be a pause as she again chews on her lip for a second or two, but she will very gingerly, very slowly let go of his wrists.
I'm gonna roll some willpower because something's kicking in. Fuck, okay. He'll start to zone out.
She is midway through the process of just has gingerly let go of the wrists and is sliding the arms in on either side of him.
And his
Very
chest will start to
slowly. Oh,
breathe rapidly. Like she'll see, she could probably feel it through the pack, like his heart will start to like thump, 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 thump. That anxiety.
and the arms go ahead and slide the rest of the way around his middle. She just very gingerly starts pulling in. Very softly hugs him up to her front.
You don't get to leave me on my own.
I won't, Raya. I'm sorry.
You don't. You don't. You don't. She'll feel him actually start to shake.
And she will it's very slow, very gently that she increases the pressure a little bit, firming up the hug, tucking her head down against his shoulder. I won't leave you alone, Raya.
You don't get to do that.
I won't.
You don't get to. You start to just close. Oh, eyes will open and have this very wide stare, and then blink a couple of times.
And
You don't get to.
Just keep holding him in.
You don't. You don't get to leave like Banshee or Eric did. You don't. You don't. You don't get to
Never
do
leave you, Raya.
that. I mean, either. You're not. You're not. You're not allowed.
I won't leave you, Raya. I promise.
Yeah, he just kind of stands there staring at the empty shards of like the glass and the blood on his knuckles. Some of the blood probably drip down along his face. He'll just be staring out at it, with this very kind of blank stare in his face.
She will continue to keep him wrapped up, held against her, and do this until his heart starts slowing, until his breath starts getting back to normal.
Yeah, it'll take about 20 minutes.
No, she will just the whole time be whispering just promises not to leave him, that he won't be alone. She would never do that. And we'll just keep essentially calmly talking to him and holding on to him until he starts to calm again.
He does. He calms. He just seems to look tired then. She can just feel his body start to sag a bit. It's almost like uncoils nearly.
And she'll just kind of strengthen her own stance so that she can hold him up a bit. I'm not going anywhere, Raya.
I can't lose any of you. Especially not you. I'm not strong enough.
And while she won't necessarily pull back per se, she does shift a bit. And she'll move one of the hands up to tug his head down a little bit so that she can put a very affectionate kiss on his cheek. I'm not going anywhere, Raya.
Where the fuck is Saoirse?
I don't know.
You won't say that with any measure of aggression. It's almost like panic.
She's not gone, Raya. Just quiet.
I don't like quiet.
You want me to go find her, Raya?
Just nod.
And she'll make a point of flooding open the link a little bit. Just normally she keeps her stuff confined to her own corner, as it were. But at this point, she'll start projecting not anything in particular, just making her uppermost thoughts and feelings audible, as it were.
I can find her. It's just my mind is racing.
Sure, she's fine.
I don't know what's up with me. I'm always focused,
You're just hurting, Raya.
I just got a bit scared, that's all.
Of course you are.
I know that the guy's probably gonna fucking laugh at me.
If he does, I'll bite him.
I'm just frustrated and worried, and I can't handle my family being hurt anymore.
No more unnecessary risk, Ryle.
It's not. I can't bury more people at that point.
And again, she just quietly nods. And finally, now that he's a little calmer, we'll stay right up against him, but we'll finally let loose a little bit, assuming he will hold himself up. And
He
we'll
will.
just gingerly bring the second hand around and begin very tenderly plucking bits of shattered mirror out of it, flicking them into the sink with the rest.
What are we going to do about that? You kind of look down at her belly.
It's already been cleansed, Ryan.
All right. I'll start using the garden sunset to make soup and all that, and it might be easier on your stomach for the time being.
I haven't seen yet what it means, but it is what it is.
Probably soup is the best thing for your stomach for the minute. We'll make that.
She'll nod, easy compliance. And once she finally has all of the glass plucked out of him and takes up another one of the rags, a cleaner one, albeit still a stained one, but a clean one that she hasn't dirtied up, and wipes some of the trailing blood off of his hands and off of his face, she'll take a hold of both hands, look up to him. Shift up, Raya, please.
In a minute. I just need to think.
And she'll nod, still holding on to both his hands. She's still hanging out with, nothing but bandages on her upper half, but doesn't seem especially fussed about it.
He just very panically almost leads her to the couch and sits down. Just see him just visibly relaxing himself, almost like that. When he's sitting, he seems to be in a more like relaxed state.
Good. Yeah, she'll follow him out to the couch. And much as she is at this point in the habit of doing, will slip up against his side, kind of nesting it under his arm.
And yeah, he will eventually shift up the grabber and let his body heal and relax down, but he just seems then to almost just lie there, not really saying anything, just, yeah, silent.
In light of them being out in the public area, at least, 10 Point will have the decency at some point to grab the throw blanket off the back of the couch and just kind of wrap herself up so she's not literally half naked. And with the bandages on, she doesn't have to worry about any seeping and staining. But yeah, she will, at least for a bit, will just stay curled up there alongside him. She'll save mentioning the mark for later when he's calmer.
Yeah, it's probably the best place to end that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. With that, we will say thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. And we'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, right across New York.